Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Chris checking in with another video. I hope you are doing well and that you had an excellent weekend. For those that are new on my channel, my name is Chris. I come from Michigan. I am an expat living here in Munich, Germany. And on this channel, I talk about everything related to life. I give motivational videos, I give tips. I also, I'm a polyglot. I speak 6 languages. I have lived all over the world. And on this channel, I talk about life in Germany, China, the United States. So if you find any of these topics relatively interesting, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button where you'll be notified when I make videos, which is usually every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Berlin time, and join the community. My dear viewer who is watching this video, where's your passport? Where's the last time you've seen your passport? Perhaps it's in the top shelf of your bedroom drawer. Perhaps it's in your desk, or maybe it's under your bed somewhere collecting dust. Me being distinctively different in China put me in a position where I always had to focus on my identity. So when I was in China, I had people approach me and they were just fascinated by me. And it's fact the fact that I could speak Chinese was even more fascinating to many Chinese people because I could tell them my story. What does it mean to be an African American? This is the first time many Chinese people had saw an African American in person. Particularly Chinese men love NBA. So it was really, really a monumental experience for a lot of Chinese people that I met during my 4 years in China to meet a black person who, from the United States, who isn't, a basketball player. I suck at sports. Living as a foreigner in China puts you in a position where you always have to think about your identity. And a passport is the physical representation of your identity. I come from a white majority country, so there is an expectation that someone from America is going to be white. Many people ask me why I talk about my identity so often, and it's important to talk about your identity because some of the identities that we have were actually given to us. And I realize that now in a lot of my social work, how is it that my identity, encapsulates what it means to be an American citizen. And these are lessons that I had to learn in China because people were confused. They were genuinely confused. How is it that I can be black and American at the same time when all they have seen on TV from Big Bang Theory, all these very, very well-known and ubiquitous shows, right, that are all over the world, the presence of black people is small, so their understanding of me as a person was small. Living in the United States as a black man in a white majority country, I knew I was different, but it's normal to walk down the street. No one cares, no one looks at you. You are an American citizen as a black person. No one says anything. But in China, people will say, hey, like, look, there's a foreigner here. There's a foreigner, or there's a black person, blah, 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 blah. Or there's an African, and I would connect those ideas to my own person. Like, why is it that people are calling me African when I think that I'm an African American or I'm an American? And then I had to look back and I had to see what aspects of my culture and my identity were limited in my upbringing. People would say, well, how is it that you come to terms with being a black person in America when your ancestors come from Africa? And I'm not gonna lie, some of these questions actually really did hurt me because I didn't have answers to them. I really didn't have answers to them. Just like sometimes I didn't have answers to why is it that, for example, I have to think twice about walking down the street holding hands with my partner because I was assigned queer at birth in terms of my sexuality, but the world is telling me, surreptitiously that I am in the wrong, or they're noticing me being free as a gay black man, but that's noteworthy, right? And that makes me feel sometimes uncomfortable. I'm like, hey, like, this is not normal. It should be normal. It should be, guys, I'm on YouTube talking about my sexuality. I am out of the closet, I'm open, I'm normal. But the fact that people are somehow not okay with it, or that they are shocked, or like, hey, this is something that I don't see every day, let me look. You have to go through a period of psychological desocialization and vanity awareness even to know who you are. I say openly, I am African, I'm an American, and now I'm living in a new country. I'm living in Germany and my identity's here. How is it that I'm meandering these identities? Because Germany doesn't really notice me as often as China does. And it's accepted I can speak German. And people don't praise my German until I tell them that I'm from America. For example, ni hao in Chinese means hi. As soon as I say ni hao, people are like, wow, you speak so good Chinese. Like, how can you do that? Like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like, you can speak Chinese. And I'm like, yes, I can speak Chinese. And I would be so, honestly, to the point I was really insecure about my Chinese because people would always like it's not normal for Black people to speak Chinese in China. And it's almost even expected that as a foreigner in China that you speak English. So it's even more noteworthy that when you speak fluent Chinese, when you have an understanding of the culture, is really, really noteworthy. So coming to Germany, people notice me because they stare. Staring is very serious here, okay? And sometimes, and many people have said in my past videos that staring is something that is very, very normal here. But that makes it more ambiguous, right? You stare, but you don't ask questions like they do in China. In China, they're curious, but they ask questions, whereas here it's kind of like, honestly, this is how people look and stare at you, guys. Germans, I'm so honest. Like, people stare at you like this on the S-Bahn, on the U-Bahn, in the mountains. It's like, do you have a question? Or like, so it kind of throws me off a little bit. So again, China has made me very, very conscientious and cognizant of my identities. And I'm very, very, I love my identity now, and I love who I am today. Be in a place where no one looks like you. No one looks like you, but people ask you questions and it make you think about these things, and it make you make connections that have been disrupted for centuries. 600 years of separation from the motherland. And I am just now answering my questions and connecting myself to Africa. I am awake. If that means anything. Like, I feel awake now. Like, I feel like this part of me has been dormant for centuries. I mean, I try to talk to these things with my parents. Like, for example, what does it mean to be African American, Black, and these identities? But I come from rural Michigan. The place that I come from in America is very, very comfortable. It's very comfortable. You don't have to think about these things if you don't want to. And Munich is a constant reminder of that. I miss these questions that I had to answer in China. And I think here in Germany, I could be perceived as a German. I know when I speak German, I still have an accent, and that's okay, but the fact that people don't ask questions about my accent, the fact that people don't really care, that they just accept me, like, it's expected that you speak German, like, you're in Germany, you should speak German, right? Yeah, I mean, people don't ask these questions about identity. And so my question to you guys, Germans, do you think of your identity often? Is it that something that you think about? Do you know where your passport is? What does your passport mean to you as a German citizen in Germany, collecting dust in your bedroom? Do you think about your identity, the physical representation of your identity? Who are you as a person? Do you agree with this culture that has been given to you by your country, that you are a German citizen? And what does that mean to you to be a German? Do you interact with that? When you travel to different countries, how is it that you, or maybe even different cities, how is it that you take your culture and you adapt it to who you are as a person? Are you aware of the privilege and disadvantages that you have with your identity? How do you feel about that? And where do you find yourself in society? That is what I feel is important. These questions are crucial in terms of building a strong society and an inclusive one. So guys, for those that care, because people always ask, Chris, you always talk about identity, what does it mean to you? You talk about being gay, you talk about being Black. Why? Because I am gay and I am Black, and the world treats me as a Black person, and it also treats me as a gay person. Right? And I don't want to have to think about these questions, but this is my experience. I don't have these conversations that often here in Germany. I literally only have them on YouTube with you guys. But yeah, I'm really curious to know what you guys think, and let me know. Tell me about your story down below. I'd be really interested in reading and learning from you guys. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like more videos like this or have any video suggestions, comment, like, subscribe, because you never know. I may take your comment and I may turn it into a subject of discussion for one of my videos, okay? So do comment, subscribe, share this video if you care, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao.